are live at the 2018 ICAST show here at Bass University Live. Welcome everybody. If you guys are subscribers, make sure you send in your instant messages to me and my guest Seth Feider. He's with us at the moment. We've had a lot of great guests. We've seen some great new tackle. I see some great VMC and Rapala stuff. We've got Seth Feider in studio, fresh off his new haircut. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, man.
Thanks for having me, man. It was a good time here.
Is it true, that because you gave away the braided line trick on Bass University TV, that you lost the bet and had to have Zona shave your head?
That probably had a lot to do with it. Yeah, it wasn't a planned bet. I needed a haircut. Zona told me he went to a year of beauty school. After the haircut, I don't believe him, but it's all good.
Do you still have that one?
No, I took the unicorn off. We'll give you guys a look.
Yeah.
No more unicorn.
Yeah.
Stripes are kind of growing out, but you know. If he did them straight, I would have cleaned them back up, but they're crooked, so I'm just gonna let them grow.
That was awesome. Well, we saw you on that show. I mean, obviously a lot of fun. You've always got a lot of great stuff that you bring for us, and appreciate that, you know. And you're out there battling right now out on the elites. You know, how's this year going for you?
Up and down, roller coaster. I don't even want to look where I'm at in the points. I'm probably on the bubble as we speak, but you know, have a good one, have a bad one, have a good one, have a bad one. Just typical tournament fishing.
Yep. Well, you've got a smallmouth event coming up.
I do.
At Thousand Islands or St. Lawrence.
Yep.
Which I know is right up your alley, but.
Yeah. But then I also got a Tidal River, which is, I don't know how you say not in your alley, but that's where it is.
Is that true? You don't. Well, you living in Minnesota, I guess.
Yeah.
Not a lot of tides up there.
No, none whatsoever. My track record on tide water's not good.
Well, we'll get you fixed right up. Just tune into my Facebook channel. We got all kinds of updates on what's happening.
I'll do some homework before I go to Chesapeake.
I hope it spreads the field out. It should be a good tournament. I think a little bit better for you guys than the last time you were here.
Yeah, we're going there a little earlier too. That should help. I think we were there in August last time. It was pretty grimy when we went there, but hopefully fishing's a little better.
Yeah. Well, I wish you all the best there, but you're going up to Thousand Islands. We were just talking about, I watched some interviews. Guys were catching them as deep as 100 and 102, 103 feet at Thousand Islands. Did you?
That's crazy.
Did you go that deep for them?
No, I really like fishing smallmouth shallow. If I can get the conditions for it, I have no desire to go out to 30, 40 feet to catch them. Like, even in the middle of summer, if you get the I like getting up there and just hunting them with my eyes and sight fishing them, and that's my favorite way to catch smallmouths.
Yeah, well, I have to
trolling motor on 100, good pair of sunglasses, and just looking for black blobs.
Yep. And they get big. They're just like footballs and wolf packs. They get up in that shallow water.
3, 4, 5 of them cruising around, and they're really catchable when they're up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking for food when they're up there, but if the conditions aren't right, you got to go deep.
So. What are the conditions for those fish to be up there?
Glass, calm, sunny.
Glass, calm, and sunny.
Doesn't matter if it's middle of summer or like August. If it's glass, calm, and sunny, there will be big smallmouth shallow.
Now, is that true for smallmouth period, or just like a Great Lakes thing?
No, everywhere.
No kidding.
Everywhere. They like the sun. I don't know what it is about it. You think it'd be the opposite. You'd think you would want like cloudy, windy conditions to fish them shallow, but that's when I'm going to fish deep all day. And when it's slick, calm, and sunny, I just get up on tops, all the the 2-3 foot stuff on tops of the reefs and stuff, and trolling motor on 100, sun on your back, and go.
Yeah, that's nice. Now, when that doesn't, that doesn't always happen.
No,
right?
no.
What do you do when it's cloudy?
I just go out and drop shot.
And go deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's like opposite day, right?
Pretty much.
Compared to what you think it would be.
Yeah, it is. They're backwards, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Now you guys are cut off at the river, right? You're not allowed to go into the lake?
No, can't go to the lake. Well, I'm happy about that. It's one of them deals where if they let you go to the lake, you have to go to the lake, and I don't want to drive that far, so I'd rather be closed off or blast us from Clayton, one of the two.
Right. Now, where you guys launch from, most of the guys run west toward the lake.
Yeah.
Is there eastern fish to be had?
There is. It's real small though.
Okay.
Where we launch from, there's only like maybe 10 miles to the dam.
Okay.
To the east, and then to the west, you got 100 miles of river. So obviously, I mean, there's definitely fish to the east of takeoff, but it's such a small section of river.
You can't lock through?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
I thought that was open too. I guess
No,
not.
can't lock.
So you're going to fish that river? Well, it's awesome. I know we saw spy bait win the last time, and I've been watching that a lot. I watch guys at Oahe.
That's pretty close.
What is it?
Oahe?
Hawaii? I stuttered a little bit.
It's just one word. Yeah.
Well, I did the best I could. But I saw one of the guys coming in busting a nice fish on a spy bait there. We've seen it at a lot of the other places. The FLW was just up on Lake St. Clair. Spy bait was playing a role there.
Yeah.
It's getting. Do you have a lot of experience with it, or what?
I can't catch a bass on a spy bait.
You can't.
I've caught like 5 in my entire life. And
No
I tried
kidding.
remember when they first came out? I don't know how long ago it was, but when they first came out, I was like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
And I'd go to places where fishing was really easy, where I could catch them on anything, and I still couldn't catch them on a spy bait. So I think it's just me. Obviously they work. I've literally caught 5 bass on a spy bait. I think I've caught more perch than I have bass on a spy bait.
Well, I got a spy bait story because I'm on St. Clair when they came out, 5 years ago, maybe something like that.
Yeah, longer than that, but yeah.
Well, that's what maybe I got it, and I thought, and this is a key. The best time for me to test a new lure is when you find a school of fish.
Yeah.
Right, because it's the best way to learn and get confident in it when you know that the fish are there, they're biting, and you can assess that deal. Versus when you're trying to find fish, trying new lures, you can get turned off or get cold to them. Anyway, I find a school of smallmouth, and they're all over. I pitch a tube, drop shot. You can see them. They're not big, maybe 2.5 to 3.5 pound school. Lots of them though. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw my spy bait through there. So I got my 2.5 pound test and whatever they recommend, super light.
Yeah.
And I'm slow rolling that spy bait, and I see the smallmouth running away from it, creating a path, through the Red Sea, and the bait's coming right through them, and they're not biting it. And I'm doing everything that I thought I was supposed to do, and I'm like, this is stupid. I threw it out there and I burned it in, and they couldn't stop eating it.
Really?
I was burning it up high, I'm talking this high in the water column.
Maybe I'm fishing too slow.
Maybe, I don't know if that's true. That's what happened to me that day.
That's basically my same experience.
Yeah.
I think it plays more like summer into fall, because it's really similar to that hair jig deal.
Right.
I mean, it's just throwing it out and reeling it in, and I think that hair jig works better spring into early summer. Because I've been on places where I'll catch them every cast on a hair jig. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try some spy bait, right?
Yeah.
Just crickets.
Crickets. Yep.
I don't know.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Maybe I was fishing it too slow, or I think time of year might have a lot to do. I think it plays more summer, fall than it does in the spring.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, the guys are certainly catching them on.
They are.
I know I'm going to be. I have a open. I'm going to fish the open up on Lake Champlain.
Me too.
Are you fishing that?
I signed up. Oh,
awesome.
Yeah. You're going down, Pete. Going
Dude,
down.
I think me and you ought to just agree right now. We can only throw spy baits, and we'll see who wins.
So we're going to come in 199th and 200th, me and you.
But it'll be a battle. It'll be well contested.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. It should be a good tournament.
Yeah,
so,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm thinking spy baits might be a factor up there. But you talked about the hair jigs, and that's such a an interesting thing, how you fish it. And I've seen your seminar on it. But explain to you fish that similar to a spy bait. You're
it's
slow reeling that bait straight in.
It's the same deal. That's why I don't know why I can't catch one on a spy bait.
Right.
It's seems so similar, but obviously there's something subtle to it that I'm missing.
And do you throw some plastic on there for weight?
A little bit, a little chunk of anything with a lot of salt in it.
Okay.
Basically, the salt's the weight you're getting from the plastic,
Okay. And you're just slow rolling it.
Basically, yeah.
For visual sight fish or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I can't see them. I mean, anytime there's a mayfly hatch, they're on really good. Anytime the water's super clear, they're on it really good. Obviously, smallmouth deal, but.
Anytime they won't bite a spy bait, they're on it really good.
I don't know.
Well, I also see some cool stuff here. We're both on the Rapala group, and I see some baits that I've tried and used before and some that I haven't. Talk to me a little bit about what we got.
Yeah. We got a couple of new really cool things and then a couple just variations. We'll start with those. This is the VMC Moon Eye. We got these in bigger. This is a jig head everybody was using at Cherokee Lake, doing the Demiki rig. It's awesome for that. The way the line tie is, it hangs perfectly horizontal when you're fishing it. They got them in bigger sizes, and I think they go up to an ounce now. But before, all we had was 3/8. And when you're getting out, if you get a little bit of wind and you're getting out in 30-some feet of water and you're trying to drop on fish that's a little light, now they got 1/2 ounce. That's going to solve that problem for fishing a little deeper, current or wind, stuff like that, keeping your bait straight up and down. But they do make them up to like an ounce. I don't really see a need for that, but that 1/2 ounce will come in handy for sure anytime there's some wind out there. It's another one, not a new bait, but a new size. This is a ripstop. They came out last year, I believe, in a little itty bitty size. It was almost like a spinning rod jerk bait. Now they got it in a full-on, bait caster, 3 big hooks, ready to go. Really, really cool bait. It's probably, like I've talked about this before, a lot of guys don't jerk, after that pre-spawn period up until, late fall again. And if you are gonna jerk in that post-spawn, summertime, early fall, that's the one you wanna throw. It's got that little tail on there that every other jerk bait, when you go to crack it, it'll dart and just kind of glide off like this. And this one with that little tail on there, when you crack it, it's only moving when you're like literally hitting it really hard. Like you go to crack it and it'll stop like that.
Right.
No other jerk bait does that. They all just kind of slow glide off and then back the other way. And this is like a lot more crisper action, which I think plays a lot better in those warm weather months. It's a harder, more reaction bite than that slow kind of drifting off that you want for that, that cold water period. So if I'm throwing a jerk bait in the summertime, that's the one from now on. And they made it in a model I can throw on a bait caster and 3 big hooks. So.
Outstanding, and I think that might apply at Lake Champlain.
Yeah, that'd be the one I'll have tied on for sure.
Because all summer for jerk baits for smallmouth, all summer long. It's for largemouth too. We did an on-water deal with John Hunter, and so many guys are using jerk baits all year round now.
Amazingly, everybody thinks of it as that pre-spawn bite. It is for largemouth. It's probably one of the best post-spawn lures you can throw. Because they get in that funky little weird time after they're garden fry, done spawning. They're like just kind of moody. You'll see them swimming around. They're really not interested in much, but you just start ripping a jerk bait by them real fast, and awesome reaction bite to get out of them.
I told you we should be throwing them post-spawn.
Oh, I mean.
Well, one of the problems that a lot of us have, and I think this is where it occurs, is grass lakes. Because the grass lakes makes it difficult to get to where the largemouth are in the post spawn, because by then the grass is up, the fish are thick in the grass, and it's a hard application.
Well, you can still fish over the grass or in holes and stuff.
Right. Well, we're gonna add that to our post spawn deal. I certainly have been guilty. I put it down in the spring and I don't pick it back up till the fall, and I know I'm guilty of it. I keep doing it. But ripstop's going to give me a reason to keep going through the summer.
And I've always jerked year-round for smallmouth, but really just the last few years on the Elite Series, I've seen what guys have done with it in that post-spawn funky time, and it's a powerful weapon. It really is.
Awesome. So we got the ripstop. What else we have?
I got a bunch of new terminal stuff from VMC. We got a skirted Nico weight.
I like
Give you a little bit different action. Nico rig's been real popular the last few years. This one combines it with a, I don't know how many strands they got in there, but it's half, looks like about 6. It's half living rubber, so you get a lot of action. It poofs out really good, and then half silicone, so you can get the the nice color combos. Got a nice little black blue here. We got a bunch of different colors, but it's your standard nail weight now with a little skirt. Adds a little bit of bulk, a little bit different look to it. Like I said, the Nico rig's getting really popular. In a couple of years, those fish are gonna start to see too much of it, and you're gonna have to change it up. And that's one little deal you can put on there that gives it, a lot different look, a little something new.
Absolutely, and I throw it a lot. I throw it a lot in all my fishing. I'm into the nail weight, the tail weights, the Nico style. It's a killer. So that's a really neat deal. Really neat product.
Yep.
You got some other hooks?
Oh yeah. We got a ringed hook here from VMC. This is new. Pop one out. This is kind of a light one. This is a little 1/0, but I use a 4/0 for Texas rigging and stuff. I'm a big extra wide gap guy. I'm not a straight shanker. I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. I don't know if you can get that, but it's got a little sealed ring on it. It's not a split ring. Your line's not going to go through it. It's I believe a welded ring. You tie that on, you get a lot more action out of your bait. It almost gives it kind of that hard head effect on a Texas rig. Keeps your bait streamlined too when it's falling. Where a lot of times you peg a sinker and you're like skipping it, and your line tie will get off to the side and it'll like fall kind of weird. Eliminates that, and for some reason the hookup percentage having that ring there is insane. I think it really kind of takes the path of the least resistance going into a fish's mouth rather than like a regular straight shank or something. It's wherever that point hits, that's all you got. You're gonna drive there. You're either gonna get in or you're not. This kind of just wiggles its way around in, and like the landing percentage has gone up a lot with this, with that ringed hook. That's something I've been doing for a while, and they just came out with them at VMC. But
that's amazing. I
really, really like it. They do got a heavy wire one coming out.
Let me have a look at that guy. that's amazing. VMC has really got the terminal tackle that they've advanced into. The categories is truly amazing. They really, that's pretty hot stuff.
Yeah. Well, we got an awesome guy over there, Cyril.
Yeah.
He really takes a lot of pro input. So
I was just gonna say,
he's awesome, dude. You can come up with some crazy ideas, spew it off to him, and a few months later he'll have something whipped up for you. It's awesome company to work with.
That's great. They've not contacted me for any of my innovative designs yet.
You just got to call Cyril.
Hopefully,
man. Thank you.
But that's really cool. It's a sealed ring. That's amazing. Great new product. I see a finesse Nico.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is something we've needed. This is on that same Nico platform. Awesome hook. I'm sure most of you have tried them by now. This is they call it the finesse Nico. It's gonna be really hard to see on the camera. It's got a little keeper on there. It's fluorocarbon. Now this allows you to, the original Nikos didn't have any sort of keeper. You could essentially whack your rig with them or nose rig with them. With that little fluorocarbon keeper on there, now you can weedlessly rig a drop shot. So you can fish brush, weeds, anything like that with it, keeping your bait completely weedless. And another thing I like to do, I'll drop shot small 3-4 inch swim baits a lot for smallmouth. And that little keeper on there, I can actually just thread the bait on there, leave the hook exposed, and that'll hold that swim bait on there all day. And like I said, the weedless factor for any little finesse worm or anything you want to put on there, and you throw it, docks, brush, grass, whatever. Really, really just kind of adding to that Nico world. That hook's been so good for everything I've used it for, and now we got more applications we can do with it. It's a really cool deal.
Excellent. VMC is really taking a big stab. I mean, like you said, I really like they're listening to the pros, the guys that are innovating out there for us to make it happen. They're taking, looking at that hard and coming out with the products that really help us catch fish. So that's fantastic. And this is a product that Ike brought a similar product back from Japan and started talking about this. Tell us, this is this out now with VMC?
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
That's the Tokyo rig. I got a sinker on this one. It doesn't come with the sinker on it. It just comes with that wire shaft. You put any size sinker you want on it, 1/8 ounce, 2 ounce, whatever. Then you roll over the wire at the bottom end, keeps it on there, keeps it from catching any grass. But this is essentially a really flippable drop shot now. Before, tying up like a regular drop shot like you would on trying to flip with it, you're always fighting the leader. It's getting caught on limbs. You couldn't flip it in brush really good. In the grass, it'd get real tangled up. Fishing it on that wire just keeps it real rigid. You're not going to end up twisting anything up, you can flip this anywhere. You can flip it into mats, you can flip it into reeds, you can flip it into laydowns. Excuse me. I've had a ton of success with this. I've been using this all summer back home, flipping the grass. You know, place where we'd flip heavy Texas rig, heavy jig. You can actually fish a lot lighter sinker on it now. Like say you needed a 3/4 to get through, you can go down to a half.
Okay.
Just because of the way it's laid out, you know, you flip in there and, you know, that sinker is going to pull you through every time. Yeah, I like to rig it with the tip of the sinker down. I feel like it penetrates a little better. It might not hold on the bottom as good as if you did it the other way, but it slides through everything really, really nice. And also the hook penetration is really good because you don't have to fight the sinker coming out of the fish's mouth. When you set the hook, there's nothing there. It's just hook and swivel. The hooking percentage has been super awesome on it, but it's really a different look. You know, I'll flip a tube a lot in the grass.
Yeah.
And I was just out a few days ago. I, you know, find a flipping school in the milfoil. I'd go through it with a tube, and on just like a standard Texas rig, get, you know, 10, 12 bites. Go back through it with the Texas rig, get 1 or 2, and then I'd go back through with that, and I can get another 10 or 12 bites on that rig. Same exact bait, green pumpkin tube. Nothing's changed, just the way it's rigged.
Right.
And it's a whole new presentation. It's something they've never seen. I mean, like back home, we flip milfoil a lot, and I can guarantee you by the end of this year, everybody's jigs and Texas rigs will be laying on the bottom of the floor and they'll have that thing tied on. I swear to God, it's...
I'm probably going to try that exactly.
No, it's mine. Limited supplies at the moment. They'll be fully stocked pretty soon.
Now, I imagine it falls differently too. Like now that you're talking about it, I can really see. You know, if you tried to create a drop shot weight system here with line,
yeah.
I mean, you'd be causing all kinds of
because I used to try
problems.
to flip a drop shot a lot, and we could flip them laydowns and brush or dock, and like that drop shot sinker, like if there's a twig or a reed, it's gonna find it and wrap around it every time, and that just takes that out of it.
That
you can put
eliminates
that thing anywhere. Yeah.
Now, like fall, or is it creating? I'm imagining it's falling different.
A
than
little
a
bit,
standard.
yeah. That bait kind of stays up and hovers a lot more too. Another thing is, you know, a lot of times they're fishing grass. The bottom's really not that hard there. There's a lot of silt and mud and stuff. You know, if you're fishing grass, it's usually not growing out of rocks. You know what I mean? It's softer bottom. So when you flip a heavy Texas rig, if you're pegged and you go through and you hit that silt, that's pulling your sinker and your bait down in there. Now just your sinker is going to go into the silt. That bait's going to stay above it, and you know, gives the fish a lot better look.
Yeah, give them a lot better look at it. It's called a
Tokyo rig.
Tokyo rig. Very cool. That's going to be
like, I hate to use the word game changer because it's really lame, but I mean, like, that thing is, I'm telling you, like, all the grass flippers back home, that's what we will be throwing from now on.
Well, it's is this going to be available this year? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm assuming. Yeah, it might be. Nah, that one's not. But yeah, I mean, they should be rocking pretty soon.
Okay. Oh, awesome. The Tokyo rig. All right. Well, we're all going to get some of them.
Must have.
Yeah, must have. Congratulations, VMC, on a great new lineup of product. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Keep it coming. And now Suffolk, I see a couple braided color options here with Suffolk's line. What do we got going on?
Oh, this is actually a mono, brand new mono we got this year, called Advanced Mono. I got to play with this quite a bit last year. I don't use mono a ton. I mean, this is basically leader line for topwaters, and well, like you were talking about, when those fish get really thick in the grass, that post-spawn jerkbait deal, that's when I'll go to a big mono, you know, a 17, 20-pound mono. I can keep that bait above the grass, fish it real shallow. And a lot of times just topwater fishing, poppers and walking baits, I'll go to this mono. It's got a much thinner diameter than your standard mono, but still has the strength. Really awesome stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty limited on what I do with mono, so I'm not going to use this a whole lot, but special situations, keeping a bait real shallow, cranking, jerking, and then topwater fishing as well.
Right.
So cool new product from Suffolk.
Let me see that. This
it has a lot less stretch than a standard mono does too. It's going to stretch a lot more like a heavy fluorocarbon.
I'm sure. Now,
pretty low stretch for a mono.
yeah, it actually feels like a low stretch, and for that line diameter, you'd think you'd really be able to stretch it.
Yep.
You probably don't remember this, but There was a time that this was all that we used.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
Do you?
Right when I started fishing, it's kind of when braid was coming out.
Okay.
Like the spider wire and fire
Yeah.
line and stuff. That's right when I really got into fishing. That was kind of happening. So I went to that a lot. I didn't really have a ton of experience with mono, but I definitely used some growing up.
I don't know how we ever caught anything.
I don't either. And you guys had like 6-foot pistol grip rods that like were not stiff at all, and then you had like the stretchiest mono in the world with like 5-to-1 gear ratio reels. Like, I mean, you guys probably got like worked over by the bass a lot.
We did.
Like they hit one and run at you, and you're like, what did you do?
You run to the back of the boat. I don't know.
Is that where I got that move from? That's an old school deal?
Yeah, that's an old school deal.
Okay.
I mean, Fritz, you used to fritzing them, you know? I mean, walking around the boat with the fish, you know?
Yeah.
You did whatever you could, but at the end of the day, what the thing was, 10 pounds a day would usually get you places because of the limitations of a lot of our gear.
I bet.
We missed probably a lot more than we do now.
Oh, yeah. And there's only certain things you could do. I mean, once
Yeah.
fish got into mats and stuff like that, what were you?
You just lose them. I remember losing a Bassmaster tournament. I lost 10 fish in a mat. We didn't have the Snell knot. Straight shanks for flipping weren't available.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't figure out the adjustment. And you know, you're getting these monsters just dunk, and you can't execute on them. Couldn't figure it out in time. And the tools that we have today are just, you're catching the majority of those fish now.
I
Yeah.
remember a top rock tournament back in the day, the top rock classic, fishing yesterday, and I broke my rod first time I was boat flipping 3 pounds. And I was trying to double yellow Stanley wedge.
Stanley wedge.
The rest of the day I had to throw that Stanley wedge on the pistol. And
I can believe it.
And I know that, and that's what we fished with all the time. And now we've got now mono, like you. I use it for very limited applications, top water,
You
some
definitely
leader
still need
applications.
it though.
Yeah,
It's not something to be forgotten about. It still has a place, and if you're going to get some mono, that's the stuff to have right there.
absolutely. And braid is something I use a lot now.
Oh,
And,
it's on almost every one of my rods. This is not a new line. This is just a new color from Suffix 832. I mean, I've tried every braid on the market. This ain't even a sales pitch. It's the smoothest, quietest, strongest braid there is. I've literally tried them all. Don't tell Quinn that, but you know, no joke. Best braid made. Suffix 832. It's just a new color. It's actually made for saltwater fishing. Intercoastal. It's basically blue and white, but. You know, I was always a real big high-vis braid guy. I want to be able to see it.
right.
And I can still see this line really good with the blue and the white chunks in it, but now when fish are looking up, it's going to camo into the surface, not be as, you know, gaudy as that lime green stuff I always used before, or the yellow stuff. I mean, I like it because I can see it, but I can still see this really good. And when you're fishing like super, super clear water smallmouth, you know, obviously if I can see that chartreuse line or lime green line, they can too. I always run really long leaders, but this is going to be something they're going to be able to look up at and not be able to see at all, you know. You know, I type top water straight to it, or, you know, for all my spinning rods and smallmouth fishing with, it just blends in a lot more better. It just keeps you a little more subtle, a little more sneaky out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, I
neat.
think they call it coastal camo, so I think it's like a saltwater deal, but I'm all in on it. I'm done with the lime green
high vis.
stuff. I can see this really good, and it's just that much more camouflage to the fish.
Awesome. And now I remember that in your seminar, and this is, I think, a key thing to talk about for Bass U is your leader length. You typically run a lot longer than most people do.
Yeah, yeah.
How long is your leaders typically?
Depends what I'm doing with it. I'll go up to 20 feet.
Wow.
On a leader, yep. Like if I'm vertical fishing, drop shot, like I flip with a leader a lot too. I'm usually about 10 foot on my leader. That size is based just on practicality. Like I'm tying an FG, I don't want it going into my reel. But I've played with them enough, like there's a bad spot at about 6 feet where that knot is really like pivoting on the tip of your rod. So you either got to go 2 foot or 10 foot
Gotcha.
to pitch a lot with a leader.
Yep.
So obviously I'm going to go 10 foot over 2 foot. The 2 foot's ridiculous. So I got that, and then when I'm dropping vertical fishing off the graph for smallmouth, basically the only braid I need, I just want the braid on my rod. Like if I'm fishing 20 feet of water, I'm going to tie a 20-foot leader.
Wow.
All I need is a braid on my rod just to get a good hook set, and then once I get them close to the boat, that way it's coming off my spool faster. I'm getting a much more accurate drop with that much fluorocarbon. And then when I do get short lined on a fish close to the boat, I'm just straight fluoro. So I got a little bit of give. I'm not going to lose those fish. Where if I just had like a 5-6 foot leader, I still got braid on my rod. There's a lot less stretch when I get that fish up close to the boat. But with a 20-foot leader, I already got my knot in my reel, and I'm straight fluoro at that point. So I got a little more cushion for those those hard last little digs around the boat, and just that drop, that accuracy of the drop is much more better. Because when if you just got a short leader, you're peeling braid off your reel to get that. You're drifting along. This is big water stuff. It's not like oh, he's right there. Like you have like a half a second to get a bait on him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's why I use a big sinker and that much fluoro. Cause as you open the bail with that big fluoro leader, and it's so rigid and smooth, it just wants
jumps right off.
Pour right off, and that bait's going right at him. If I got a short leader and I'm peeling off sticky braid to get it down there, I'm drifting along big waves. Like my bait's not where I want it to be. Fish is here, my bait's here. I want I want to hit him in the head every time. Like
sure.
I really on my sonar, if I can cut through that arc with my bait, like I know I got him.
So you want your leader is dictated by your depth. So if you're 20 or 30 feet, you might go 30 feet.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Just so long as you got that braid in your rod.
I just want it going down the rod, and usually my knot's about even with the water level.
Wow. That's really innovative stuff. I fish a lot of leaders, and I get into some of the same problems that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Flipping is such a pain in the neck because of that knot will get hung up and your jig goes flying. And
there's really a sweet spot, and it's around. Basically, what I do when I'm rigging up, I'm flipping more like 7-footers now than I used to.
Yeah.
I used to be like a big rod 8-foot guy, but now I'm flipping like a 7-foot medium heavy for everything. I'll basically when I'll tie my FG on, reel up my line till my knot gets to my very first guide from the reel.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull it out to my reel and then pull off a little extra for the knot, cut it off. Basically, I want, how you hold a bait when you're pitching, it's about even with your reel. I want that knot lined up with my very first guide up from the reel and my bait even with my reel.
Wow.
It's about 10 feet, but that's the perfect length to flip with a leader.
That's very, very technical stuff. You got to hear at Bass University. You're like a real, tackle whore. You're like totally into this, like the subtleties of every.
Yeah. Well, it's every little thing you can do to me. It's all about landing percentage.
Yeah.
You fish enough tournaments. If you fish clean, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right.
If you fish clean every single day, you're gonna get paid. But it's a hard thing to do.
It's really hard to do.
So all these little things, I go from, a 90% landing percentage, and you tweak it a little bit, and it moves you to a 98% landing percentage. That's
huge.
money in the pocket. That's Bassmaster Classics. That's
everything.
That
separates you in the field immediately.
It's everything. I mean, if I could fish clean the rest of my life, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
It's always, I lost that one.
Yeah.
You can think about them. If you put every
That's all
fish
you
that
remember.
bites, I'd rather not get the bite than lose it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I'm doing something where maybe I don't get as many bites, whatever. But when I set the hook, if it lands in the boat, that's all I want.
It's like when you're in a tournament, it's always the big ones that you lost that just burn, and you forget the big ones that you caught fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gone.
Oh yeah. I still have multiple fish I think about on a nightly basis. And
do?
some of them aren't even big.
Really?
Some of them aren't. They're just crucial fish. We fished that tournament, Bull Shoals, Norfolk. Had a good day on Bull Shoals, went to Norfolk, only ended up weighing in 4 fish, tried to boat swing a 2-pound smallmouth, not big at all, comes off on the rail, bounces back into the lake, done. Weighed in 4 that day. That little itty bitty 2-pound smallmouth cost me making it to the Bassmaster Classic that year.
Oh,
and it wasn't like a 10-pounder I lost,
Yeah.
It's just
those little points of execution mean a lot.
It's a little fish. You wouldn't think, maybe I should go down and grab it because literally it's that big.
Yep.
It's not like he's gonna break my line, but looking back at it, I wish I would have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching the Bassmaster live, And I had MDJ here, and he is terrible at landing fish. did you happen to see any of that video?
I didn't.
I mean, he would have, you couldn't breathe trying to watch him corral them smallmouth.
Yeah,
and they look like
tough.
they were tough, right?
Yeah.
Them guys, I don't know what it was about them. You caught some, but when they saw
All
the angler,
ones I caught were small. I both flopped them.
yeah, you both flipped them. Man, it's when they saw the anglers, they went nuts. No matter how many times, 5 times you'd bring them to your hand, 5 times they would go nuts and run away.
Yeah.
But MDJ, he was giving me a heart attack watching them try to manage those fish.
Yeah,
they're tough. That's a hard thing to practice.
The worst thing you can do is try to horse them.
Yeah.
Like those open water smallmouths, just let them run. Like I like wearing them down till they just come up underside and just grab them. You know what I mean? If they're still green and you try getting your hands on them, 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna let you do that.
That big water is tough. I've caught some giants in Lake Erie, and your boat's drifting in 30-mile-an-hour winds. You got 5-foot waves, and the fish is huge, and he's jumping, and you can't even get him close to the boat.
That's one little trick I learned. I always try to get on the upwind side of if you hook a great big one, say you're fishing, you hook a 5-pounder, whatever I can do before I get him close to the boat, I want to get my boat upwind to him.
Okay.
Because I don't know if we got any room to work here. If you get him on the upwind side of you, you're drifting, you're pulling the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
You get in this kind of stalemate point where he's like 6 feet away and there's nothing you can do. But if I take the time when I hook him right away to make sure he's big and get him on the downstream side, then when I get him close to the boat, I'm drifting towards him. I'm not pulling him towards me, you know what I mean?
I got you.
It's just a stupid little trick, but
man, that's a big trick.
Yeah.
It's hard to do in big waves.
It is.
Right?
You got to do it before you get them up tight to the boat, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, that's a great tip. That's going to save me a lot. But hey, man, I really appreciate it. We've learned a lot. We've seen a lot of great products. We've been seeing a lot of great products all day, and I appreciate you sharing that stuff with us. Man, wish you the best of luck. You got to travel all over the Northern Hemisphere next year on the Elites.
Yeah.
You're going to be all over the country.
Right. Like everybody whines about it, but like what people from like Florida and Alabama don't understand is like it's literally I can be to the California Delta in like maybe an hour longer than it takes me to get to Okeechobee.
Yep.
Like they all whine about it because they all live in the southeast corner of the United States.
But you've been doing this the whole
everywhere
time.
I go is 20+ hours for me.
Yeah.
Like really, the close ones are like the Oklahoma, Texas ones because they're like straight up and down for me.
Yeah.
But everywhere I go is like forever.
So that's actually a benefit to you.
Oh yeah. And they're crabby when they get there, so they're not gonna fish as good. It's like, it's all good, man. I like going out west.
I like the way you think, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
I hope you crush them.
Thank you.
And
thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I'm sure we'll see you around.
Oh yeah.
Missed you at the Rapala event last night.
Yeah, my flight didn't land till 6.
We were here wrestling with technical issues, so we didn't get to make it either. But I'm sure we'll see you around the rest of this week.
Yeah.
Enjoy ICAST. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Hey guys, stay with us. What do we got coming up next? There they are. Hi, we're going to be talking more hooks, more terminal tackle, some innovative stuff. We're going to be coming back in a few minutes, just a couple minutes. We're going to take a short break. We're at Bass University TV. If you haven't subscribed yet, go check it out. We're going to give you some Z-Man products that MDJ used to win the Elite on Lake Hawaii.
Nailed it.
We'll be right back. Pete Kluzek, Bass University.